part of our team, Sydney Fazard, Angelica Toy, and Sheila Gunn-Reid, were making their way down to Kananaskis country. That's just west of Calgary. That is where Canada is hosting this year's G7 summit. G7, as you know, used to be called the G8 when Russia was in it, but Trudeau and others kicked him out. These are sort of the seven. They're not the largest economies in the world. If they were, then India would be in there, and Canada probably wouldn't be. But I call them sort of like the super friends. It's Canada, the United States, UK. It's not the whole allies like Australia, New Zealand are not in there, Japan, Italy, Germany. So it's sort of like the super friends, and there's seven of them. So every year they rotate to another one of those countries. So the last time the G7 was in Canada was in 2018. So it's our turn again. So they're back. So it's sort of a prestige event, and the countries sort of show off to the world. And of course, the government hates Rebel News, the Canadian government. Those other governments don't mind us. I mean, we've been accredited in the United States. We've been accredited in the United Kingdom, in France. It's only Canada that hates free speech. So they tried to keep us out. As you know, we had to rush to court in an emergency basis. Right before trial, the government lawyer said, no, you guys can come in. It was all a misunderstanding. Our email wasn't working. They literally said that. But I think that they deceived the court when they said we could come in. I think they're trying some shenanigans about keeping us out of the actual scrums. So we're in like some big media holding area, but I think they tricked the court. I'm going to learn a little bit more about what they did. If they did, I think we're going to go back to court and show the court that the government lied to them. I don't have all my facts yet, so we'll figure it out. But of course, the content is more important than our battle to be there, although our battle to be there is important too. I want to show you a couple clips from today's proceedings. I think Mark Carney is quite something. Let me show you the slobbering welcome he gave to Donald Trump. And you know me, I'm Trump all the way. I mean, we were for Trump in 2016, 2020, 2024. We literally trademarked Make Canada Great Again. I mean, there is no one Trumpier in Canada than us. But even to me, cool it, Mark Carney. Get a room, you two. Take a look at this.
Nostalgia isn't a strategy. We have to change with the times and to build a better world. And some of you, such as you, Mr. President, have anticipated these massive changes and are taking bold measures to address them. All of us around this table are reinforcing our militaries and security services for the new world. But we all know that there can be no security without economic prosperity, and no prosperity without resilience. And in a world where shocks flow across the borders, that resilience comes from cooperation that starts around this table. Cooperation that can lead to a new era of prosperity, energy security and critical minerals, artificial intelligence, quantum, combating human smuggling, and transnational repression.
Holy cow. I mean, if a conservative had slobberingly embraced Trump that hard, it would be a scandal. But I guess liberal voters just don't care. I'm trying to understand, would the real Mark Carney please stand up? I mean, he campaigned as hating Trump, divorcing Canada from Trump, reoriented Canada away from Trump, saying the relationship with America is over. I don't know who Mark Carney really is. And maybe there is no real Mark Carney. It's whoever he's told to be in that moment. Here's a little bit more from the press conferences so far at the G7.
What is holding up a deal with Canada from your perspective?
It's not so much holding up. I think we have different concepts. I have a tariff concept, and Mark has a different concept, which is something that some people like. But we're going to see if we can get to the bottom of it today. I'm a tariff person. I've always been a tariff. It's simple, it's easy, it's precise, and it just goes very quickly. And I think Mark has a more complex idea, but also very good. So we're going to look at both, and we're going to see what we're going to come out with something, hopefully.
Anyways, I'm glad our reporters are there, and I'm delighted that our reporters care so much about freedom of the press that they're willing to go to court. And we'll do it again if we need to. I want to talk a little bit more about a couple other subjects, though, including this clip of Kash Patel, who's the FBI director on Donald Trump, who had some startling news on a podcast the other day that I actually didn't see until today. I sort of missed it. Did you know that the United States has the lowest murder rate right now that they've had in decades, or at least possibly in memory? I don't want to say ever, because it was probably lower before statistics were kept. But here, take a look at his comments just a few days ago.
We are on track to have the lowest homicide rate ever. Murder rate ever.
In the country.
Yeah.
Really?
We're already, and look, we got 6 more months to go, so we're not done yet for the year, but we're already down 20% from last year, and we broke it this week that right now the murder rate, if we, the FBI and our government partners, achieve the mission, will give the American people the lowest murder rate in decades.
That's incredible.
And that's what I'm focused on.
What steps have been made to do that? Like, how did that become real?
So I think, and I've worked with cops and law enforcement a lot in the past, and you have too. They're awesome. All they wanted to do was do the work. Once President Trump got elected, before I even got the nomination, right? And excuse me, when I was traveling the country with him before that, they were like, take the handcuffs off of us. Let us go do our jobs. And that's where I came up with, like, good cops be cops. I said, if I'm going to get this job, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you, the agents, the police officers, the sheriffs, go out there and do the work you so badly want to do. And I'm going to give you the resources you need to do it. And I'm going to take away the politicization and weaponization, saying, oh, we can't target this group or this thing or this area. And that's it. That's what we've done.
So how is it that Kash Patel and Donald Trump have reduced the murder rate just so immediately? Like, just, they haven't even been in power. Is it even 6 months? And how do you get the murder rate the lowest in history? Well, part of the reason is getting the FBI out into the field. Stop, persecuting Christians or going against the January 6ers. How about go after some real crime? Move them out of Washington. Back police in general, back the blues, stop the funding cuts, stop the political correctness. But I think it's indubitable that the number one reason murders has fallen in America is because thousands of illegals, including violent illegals, including gang members, have been deported. You've seen those images of the most radical MS-13 in Tren de Aragua, I'm not sure if I'm saying those gang names right, being deported to a specially built gang supermax prison in El Salvador, which is an incredible thing in itself. If you take hundreds or even thousands of illegals, and if you're starting with the baddest hombres there are, you're starting with the murderers and the rapists, of course you're going to have a reduction in crime, not just from the ones who are no longer in a position to murder or rape, but from others who are now spending a little bit more time hiding and running than committing crimes. By the way, Rebel News was in New York City this weekend while Sheila and Sid and Angelica and I were in Red Deer. Efrain Monsanto and Alexa Lavoie were in New York watching the anti-police riots. Some of them were riots. It wasn't quite the riot we thought we would get. It wasn't quite the LA levels, but we were there. We wanted to see how Antifa and others would react to mass deportations. You take a look. Here's some of Alexa's reports. You can find them all at riotreports.com.
have the right to walk on the street. Is that there's too many freeloaders here, man. Too many of them. And we need all the stuff that they were giving out to the other countries like Palestine and Israel, all that stuff. We need them here too, because home first before everybody else.
Can I ask you quickly, what do your flags mean?
Huh?
What do your flags mean?
It's resistance.
Resistance, but you're proud to be American.
Yeah.
So how
Real
come,
American. I'm not a European American.
so how come you are dragging and...
Because this flag don't represent us. This flag represent you.
You make the
I think that Donald Trump is dead set on mass deportations. He's got to be. Biden had let in literally millions of people. So even if Trump deported 1,000 people a day, there's no way that's going to come even close. 1,000 a day would be 365,000 a year over a 4-year term. That's barely 1 million people. That's not even 10% of the job. So speed and mass numbers is key. I think it's the most popular thing he's doing.